Hi, it's Michelle Taberge, and I'm here with my friend Julie Ray, and we are installing some art in her room. And I don't know if I saw this somewhere. I've never actually done it before, but I thought this is actually a really cool way to make an arrangement, what they call a gallery wall. So that's when you have an arrangement of pieces. So how we started this out is we took the art and we laid it down on her living room floor, and we played around with positioning until we had it the way we wanted. Then we took some newspaper, and you could take craft paper, butcher paper, whatever you have, tissue paper, and we cut out shapes to match each piece of art. And then we took those and we kind of took a photo, I think, didn't we? We took a photo.
We took a photo.
Okay, and then so we knew how the arrangement was on the living room floor, and then we brought it in here, and then we just taped everything up, and you could kind of see the shapes, and also we could get like the distance from the door and make sure the placement was right in the room before actually putting nails in the wall. So this just saves messing up your walls with a bunch of like trial and error nail holes. So we took all our templates and we taped them up. So what you need for this is you need a measuring tape, some blue tape, a hammer, nails, picture hangers, your pictures, pencil. So we're at this stage now. So the templates are up here, and we actually, because we did this a while ago, didn't we? And so we put little Post-its to remind us which piece of art goes where. So right now we're doing the landscape. So what I did is I took the tape measure, and this hanger's up high. Sometimes you have a picture wire, and what you want to do is measure with your tape measure from the top of the picture wire, like so. But this, we just measured the distance, which was 3/8 of an inch from the hanger to the top, so that we knew where to place the nail. So then we measured here. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we measured 3/8 from the top of the template to where the nail is going to go, and we already drove the nail in there, and we tested it. And that's the cool thing about this system, is like you can just make sure you got it right before you take your template off, and voila. Now another thing that we did, if you don't have a tape measure, you could actually do all this without an actual tape measure. You could just use pieces of paper to mark. But hey, isn't this cool? Look, this nail box has tape measure on, but you could just take a piece of cardboard.
Oh,
yeah, look.
Oh, that is cute.
We could use that. But anyway, what you can do, if you, for instance, did not have a tape measure, you could just take your templates and you could find out the center by folding it in half, like that. So I wouldn't have to measure and do the math, like, oh, how right is this, and do it by half. So that would be your halfway point, and then you just need the measurement, the distance down where the nail's going to go, so that the hanger is in the right place, so that the painting will align with where we exactly placed the template. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have hung things, and it's like, oh, it's a 1/2 inch too high or 1/2 inch too low, and it's just really annoying.
It doesn't look right.
And then it just gets tedious, and you're like, I don't want to hang pictures, what a pain. So anyway, it was fun because we did this together, so I advise getting a friend to help you out, because it just makes it more fun and enjoyable and not tedious. So one additional note is that the reason we use the blue painter's tape instead of regular masking tape or Scotch tape is this tape, the adhesive, is specially designed so it does not lift the paint off of your walls. So make sure you invest in some blue painter's tape for this, because it will save your walls a lot. And then once you have the nail in the right place and you've tested and made sure you like where the art is, you just pull off the template. And we even, sometimes people, if you have old crumbly plaster walls, it sometimes helps to put a piece of tape and drive the nail through the tape. That's another little tip. This one was just a leveling thing, right? Wasn't it? We were just trying to line up these ones on the bottom. That's why we did that. So we will show you the whole thing when it's done. It's going to be exciting. But there we go. Boom.
Yay!
Yay! I just wanted to show you a couple of different types of hanging hardware. These ones in particular are great if you have older walls, again, crumbly plaster walls. The nails are a little bit finer, and now this is, you want to check the weight of your art. So these ones are rated 30 pounds. This is kind of a more traditional style hanger, and this is a little newer, and these ones tend to hold a little better in a plaster wall, and some of them will have more of these little brass headed nails to hold up heavier art. Oh yeah, and then this is another this is a really typical traditional style. So this is pretty similar to that one. And you notice they purposely have the nail kind of angled down into the wall, so you're not going to hammer the nail straight in. So if this is your wall, the nail will angle down and the wall will be there, if that makes sense. So it gives it a little bit better grip. To show you our mistake, so you don't make the same mistake, we measured and that the wire is supposed to go right there. So we put the nail there, but the thing is there's the hanger, so you have to add on, you have to compensate for that. So we should have like put the nail up higher so that the wire would rest right at that dot, if that makes sense. Okay, so Julie was saying how maybe we should explain that I'm having us take the art off, so we just hung our second piece, but before we do more hammering, we're taking the pieces off. So we were just checking the placement, making sure they look good, but because we're hammering on the wall and using tools in the vicinity of the art, I think it's better safe than sorry, so we are removing each one.
This side can come down now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just pull it off, and the hanger's left there, and then you just have the hangers. So I just wanted to show you this is a little different because it has the wire. So the wire's there, and we just pull up on the tape measure, and that looks like about a little less than 2.5. And we will measure that same distance on the wall. And I've already folded the template in half here. And I'll just mark it with a pencil. So we're kind of analyzing our work. We have to level everything. And I want to show you what we were trying to do, where the alignment was. Now, you don't have to do this, but can you show those two alleys I showed you?
Yes, like, here's one alley, and here's the other alley.
And then the horizontal one, too, is a little,
right here.
But that's not as crucial.
And then we wanted to line the bottoms up, which didn't really happen.
So we might tweak the one on the right? That big vertical one on the right.
Up a little bit.
And then the composition was designed, she's going to get these two framed, and so then it'll be more filled in and kind of rounded out, you know.
Yeah, just put those there. Will that look good?
I think it'll look great, yeah. Okay, so we're going to show how we're going to fix this. Now, we had a piece of tape across here that was supposed to be the alignment. So I'm actually going to put it back in, but first I want to level everything, and that's why it's really helpful to have the bubble level, because you can level all the art. So if you haven't used a bubble level, there's this yellow liquid and there's a bubble in the middle. And when the bubble is exactly centered between the lines, you know it's level. So let me just put this on top of here, and I'm just going to rotate ever so gently. Boom, level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this tape. It also can be that your house isn't level.
My house is not level.
So sometimes you just eyeball it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to use a level. This is just like an additional tool that can help. Some people can just see it and get it right. So what we're going to do is, now we've got this. I'm going to take this fellow off, and then I'll run another piece of tape to extend this line. Maybe I'll just take this off just for protecting the art. And then I'm going to run another line, and I'll check the level on that, but I'm going to just overlap it enough so that it should be... Perfect. Does that look good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then... Okay. So we're going to put him back up. Okay. So we need to bring this up, and actually this is pretty cool. It's just the width of the tape, so I don't even really have to measure it. Oh, cool. So what I'm going to do...
You're just going to put it up to the...
I'm just going to put a piece of tape there. Whoops. Sorry. This is why we take the art down.
Yeah, that's why we took the art down.
While we're doing this job. Okay. So I'm going to recycle a little piece of tape here. So it has to be raised by
one width of the tape.
Yeah, one tape width. So I'm going to actually bring it down and rest it on the top of the nail. And then I'll take this nail out. And then I'll just rehammer in right up there. Simple. Okay, hopefully it'll work. And maybe, Julie, can you show how this is angling in a little? See, I showed earlier, but this is what I meant by the angle, is that the nail goes in at a little bit of an angle to the wall. And sometimes it goes the wrong. Boom! Okay, we don't necessarily have to take that tape off. Oh, this is the big test. Is it gonna work?
Did it work? Yay!
Yes, it's perfect. Look, see it lined up perfectly with
excellent.
that. We did it.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, put those guys up.
Okay. We can take our blue tape down. Neat. It's fun. And it's just so personal, right? I love this arrangement because it's like your specific collection of stuff and the different frames. And, you know, the frames, we kind of picked work. She had different styles of work, but we picked work. Think, too, not just how the art looks together and the colors, but how the frames coordinate with each other. So, like, maybe, I think we had stuff in like a bright modern frame or things that, like those cool photos of your friends that like, they wouldn't quite work in this arrangement. So there's a few different things you can select artwork for. That's why it's good to do, because I probably wouldn't go to this trouble either, but it's like, it's your room. I have to make it perfect. You know? Okay, and this goes a little this way. Now, where does this go? Level.